What's up, everyone? Let me get myself live on Instagram. I'm late. Guys, I really got to get my life together. This whole time construct, I have to master that in this lifetime because, yeah, it is an honor and a pleasure to be with everyone today. My name is RIMIDI. I'm a professional music and recording artist, retired educator for the school system, but always a teacher at heart forever more. And I am extremely, incredibly happy to be here. Peace, peace, peace. Come on in. Drop your name. Drop where you're tuning in from. I am super excited that you are here. Okay, go ahead and let me know that you're in the building. Drop some hearts, drop some love, put it in the chat so I know that you're in the building. Guys, again, I apologize for the tardiness. I got to work on that, y'all. I had some technical difficulties, and not only that, I woke up incredibly late today. And that's a no-no for me because when I do that, then I'm unable to get my rising routine in, which is a greater commitment to me than anything else, before anybody else. I like to make sure I wake up and, do my yoga, do my meditation and all that stuff before, and my prayer before I connect with other human beings. And most importantly, it's important that I just make sure that I connect with myself before I connect with others. I got to make sure I'm intact. So I'm talking to you from a place where I have yet to do that. And as soon as I get off here today, that's what I'm going to be focusing on. But I wanted to commit to this, and like I said, I'm still late, but I'm here. But I'll do better next week. That's all we could do, 1% better. Before we get into today, like I said, let me know that you're in the building. I see I got people watching. Just go ahead and let me know that you're here. Drop a heart, drop a hey, no spectating. Like here we interact, we engage with one another, we let each other know that we're in the building, and we show love to each other because this is so important, particularly in this space that we're all in right now. It's just a lot going on. And I think it's incredibly important that we show compassion to one another, that we show each other that we're here, that we're present. So I'm using my hands a lot, but it's good to see you. All right. So before we get in today, and we're definitely getting into something good today, I had to take a moment. It is only right that I take a moment to acknowledge some things. So, because some of you all showed up for me in a way that I did not expect, and I definitely wouldn't feel right moving forward without honoring that. A few weeks ago, really last week actually, I came to this community in a very vulnerable space, having a very vulnerable moment. My family and I was facing an eviction, and I had hours, not days, but hours to come up with the money, or we were going to lose our home. And I did something that was very hard for me, and I asked for help. I came public and I asked for help. And that's something that I'm really uncomfortable doing, and I'm learning how to do, not just in terms of like that situation, but just in general, learning to get out of my comfort zone and speak even openly about the things that I have been experiencing. And this community answered. I got messages. People were praying, whether they said it out loud or silently. The contributions that were given, the shares, people really showed up. And what's funny? A lot of times I have been in my head. I'm moving from my head to my heart chakra and moving more from the heart. And this has been an ongoing work, but this season has definitely moved me into my heart to be more compassionate and to be more, to move through a place of love versus like what's happening in my head, which oftentimes is not real. So I say that to say that there have been times where I felt like I was not supported. I felt like, people just didn't value me or what I brought to the table in my work. I really have had to move through that, and that has taken a lot of internal work, and really honestly, I have to say that it wasn't until like the last year or two where I've been able to really see my love being reflected back to me. But that's also because of the work that I have been doing on myself to just love myself regardless of what others perceived of me, or even what I had going on in my head. It really is always about the love that I have for myself, and in that the love is always reflected back. But yeah, this community answered me, and I felt every single bit of it because of you and those who contributed, because of those who simply prayed, those who shared heartfelt concern. Because of you, I was able to handle this immediate financial pressure. We're still fighting through the legal process. It is aggressive. It is insane. I actually expressed this on another live. I really want to move forward without going into depth, but it feels like, the rent has gone up here $1,000. My rent is exceptionally high. I paid $3,400 for rent, and the base rent was $3,150. It has gone up $1,000 at base, and it really just feels like they want to get us out. I left teaching earlier this year due to the impact it was having on my mental, emotional, and physical health. Real talk, I've been recommended by 2 doctors, a holistic doctor, a Western doctor, I always keep both, and a therapist that you need to step out. And I had a plan to leave at the end of the school year, but unfortunately it didn't unfold like that. I left earlier because it literally felt like it was just consuming me in ways that it was beginning to impact me negatively. So it's like, either choose myself and leave, or stay and just see how much more it will impact me negatively. And I chose myself, and I chose to leave. And yes, that was a risk. Yes, it has come with its challenges. Yes, it has been very interesting. Yes, it has taken me out of my comfort zone, continues to take me out of my comfort zone. Anytime I get comfortable, it's like, ugh. But I do want to say that, I was only behind a month, not even a month yet. I was behind when it started, about a week. I'll say 9 days specifically, and they started the process. And it's just been a journey. It's still a journey, but it's not fully over. We're still standing. I'm doing things that I'm pretty sure they didn't expect me to do, like foul motions, foul within the system, online, like, what I'm saying, basically acting pro se and representing ourselves as my own attorney and own representation. Anyway, this is what's happening. And because of you, I was able to rectify that specific season. I want to shout out, I had like a list of people that I wanted to shout out, but I don't have my list, guys. But off the top of my head, I want to shout out Goddess Joquetta Baptista of Collective Sisterhood, Tawana Akins of A Better Me and Community Collaboration Exchange, Ruth of Farm Stage, Zahira Calloway of Mino Learning, Leroy Jones of A Circle of Brotherhood, my brother James, Sheena O'Murray, singer. My God, there's a lot of people who came through. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. My sister, Susan Pitts. It's just a lot of people really just came through, and I apologize right now. I'll make sure I have you all in the caption, and I'll definitely also do another video to shout you out. But I definitely want to take a moment to say thank you to you all, and I want you to know that I see you. I don't take any of it lightly. Not anything, not whether it was $5, $500, $30, whether it was a share, whether it was a prayer. I am full of gratitude, and I take none of it for granted. This is what community is supposed to feel like. And this right here, what I do, the music, Find Your Remedy, gym culture, the late bloomer, all of it has always been about this. At least honestly, in the last couple of years, I've been leaning more, not into being a charity case, right? But more about why the power of people and community is important, sharing information, showing up for one another, moving through this life with real faith, with real courage, with honesty, not as a highlight reel, but as real life. That's what this is all about. This work that I've been doing, that's what it's all about. That's who I'm all about. I'm all about just being real, okay? So yeah, so this is not about me. I just keep going, not because life is easy, but because I believe that what I'm building, and I believe in who I am building it for, and that's you. I am a late bloomer, yes, and I am not ashamed of that anymore. Okay, this situation has brought me to my knees. It has humbled me in ways that I cannot explain. No, there is no way that I can express how humbled I have been in this season, right? This is a fire horse year. I knew this was going to be a year of challenge, but man, when I tell you, this year just keeps me on my toes. But I know that life happens for me. Like life happens for me, not to me. You know, life happens for us, not to us. So that's why they say you got to be careful what you ask for. You know, I've asked to be sustainable, a strong leader, one that is building a legacy that will outlast me, not only my family, but all that I serve. Do you know how big that is? Especially when you really don't know how to do it. You're just trusting that the vision that has been given to you and the blueprint that you're following is just it, you know, and leaving security, leaving, you know, that guaranteed check, that's not easy. And not everyone can do that, right? But it is what it is. It is what it is. Hold on one second, y'all. Hey, Milan, how you doing? I'll come talk to you after this live. Oh, are you going? Okay, baby. Good to see you. I'll see you later. Drive safe. Okay. Yeah. So that was cool. Just had a moment with my daughter. All right. So yeah, I'm not ashamed of these things. I spent years in rooms that I should not have been in. I signed things I don't understand. I paid attorneys lots of money over the last 4 years to understand what I should have known when I started. You know, I made mistakes. I learned the hard way. You know, I was guided by people who, you know, didn't know the business, or they knew it, but they didn't share it, you know. But at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to educate ourselves, to get the information, to research the information. You know, there's a level of accountability that we have to have about, you know, the decisions that we made and the path that we have taken, right? There is accountability that you have to take there, but there's also grace that you must give to yourself, right? So today, you know, what I have now is the knowledge, the receipts. I definitely got receipts, because I definitely spent some money to get this information, and I definitely have, I don't want to use the term lost a lot of time, right? Because everything matters, everything counts. There's no real such thing as wasted time per se, but I get that, and I know you do too, right? But I have definitely uh, paid the cost to be the boss, to stand in this place that I'm in, and to have the knowledge that I want to share with you. You know what I'm saying? And I have real experiences that will help someone not have to go through what I have gone through, and not have to be in the position that I have been experiencing, because, you know, of what I have decided to do, to do my music full time. You know, when I was younger and when I had less on the line, you know, that was the perfect time to learn this business, to really understand it, to take the risk. You know, I've chosen at the age of 42 to take a major risk that has really, you know, like I said, been challenging. I done told y'all that 1,000 times, you know, but I am actively getting my house in order, literally as we speak. You guys have been watching my life in real time. This is like a reality TV show. It really is. It's not a show though. It's my real life. Okay. So here I am practicing what I preach, because that is what a late bloomer does. You bloom on your own timeline, but you still bloom. And baby, I'm blooming, and you watching me bloom in real time. Okay, so if you are a creative, if you are a songwriter, if you are a composer, an independent artist who is a singer, songwriter, composer, specifically singer. I keep saying singer, I don't know, but I guess whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I am talking to the singers and the music artists, but you could be a singer and a music artist and not be a songwriter and a composer. So I'm talking specifically to those who desire to be or are a songwriter and a composer, but just have not put your ducks in order. You've been, you know, working those jobs that are in alignment with you. You're in these systems that are draining you. You are feeling tapped out. You know what this feels like. And if that is the case, I'm talking to you. You're tired. You're tapped out. You feel out of alignment with the systems that were not built for you. Okay, you still have faith in your career. You're still showing up to your career. Even if you've taken a break from your career, you're still showing up. Even when you don't know how to do it, even when you don't know how to make it sustainable, even when you're still showing up as a starving artist. You are a late bloomer too, but it's not too late, okay? Despite what anyone tells you, it is not too late. That's what today is all about. So let's get into it, guys. I am so late today, you know. This started at 1 o'clock. It's supposed to start at 1 o'clock. I started at about 1:30. So we're going to run into 2:30 today. I hope you got some time. I hope you got a notepad, you got your journal, and you're ready to take some notes, okay? And if you are who I'm talking to, let me know that you're in the building. Say hello, 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 so I know that you're here. In fact, I can't see Instagram. I apologize, y'all. I apologize. Thank y'all for being here. I got my Instagram here so I can see it and see who's in the building. Let me check one more thing out before we get into the checklist. Today we're going to be going into the independent artist starter checklist. Okay, we're going to go into that checklist and you should take notes. All right. Hold on here. 1 second, y'all. Okay. All right. So let's go. Let's get into our checklist. All right. So this is what we call the independent artist starter checklist. All right. It's 10 things that every artist needs to know before taking music seriously, or you have started with, you've been doing music for a long time. And now you're really like, man, I'm leaning into this. I got to make this work. I got to do it because all I got is one life. And I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take the chance. Now, am I telling you to go quit your job and do what I did? No. I believe that if you got a job that you're feeling, do it, make it work. You feel me? If it's, not tapping out. But I will tell you that if you want to quit your job, man, this ain't for the faint of the heart. You got to be ready. So I would suggest if you're not ready for all that will come with this true faith of leaning into what the Most High God is telling you to do, which you got to do what God tell you to do anyway, because you're going to find yourself there. But I would say go get yourself like a little part-time job, something that don't really take a little bit, a lot of your time. I'm going to be honest, I'm looking for a little like contract work, short-term work that really takes, let me say that more affirmatively, that really takes just a little bit of my energy, because what has happened in the past, I can no longer allow, man. That job was soaking me dry, and like to the point where I had no energy for my own self, and I just no longer can allow that, you know what I'm saying? And I honored what I heard. And so, if you feel like God is telling you to leave your job, because that is a thing, and everybody not going to understand you, I'm telling you right now, people are not going to get you, including the people that are close to you, including the people that are in your household. You better keep close to you those people who overstand, has done what you've done, who, even if they haven't done it, they can see the vision, they trust what you are hearing. You got to keep those people real close to you. You got to keep them close, I'm telling you, because it's going to be a journey. So anyway, let's get into it. If you choose not to do that, you choose to just keep a part-time job or keep the job you have, you can still do these things. Just know that you're going to have to just be real disciplined. Either way, you got to be real disciplined. All right, so here's the 10-item breakdown. All right, and this is what no one told me on early on, or they told me, but maybe in some ways too, I just wasn't ready for the information, or I don't know what was going on. But here we are today. I know it. Number 1, define your artist identity. Who are you before you release a single? Your identity is what makes someone a fan versus just a listener. Without it, you're just building on sand. You feel me? Like you are on a sunken ship. But when you hear from me, somebody else might say persona or all this. I'm going to say it's who you are. Who are you? Outside of all of that junk, okay? Outside of that image that you're trying to portray, who are you to the core? You know what I'm saying? People connect most with people who are real, people who are showing up authentically, people who are showing up as themselves. Yes, you can create an artist persona, But the artist persona that you're creating is just an outward image of who you actually are, right? How you see yourself, how you see yourself, not just in the flesh, but from within. That is what you want to be able to articulate in your artist identity. Because let me tell you something. Go ahead and you create an artist persona that's not you, okay? You're gonna find later that you're gonna go through a crisis and you're gonna have to shed all that junk anyway. You might even fall into a depression because it ain't you. And when we go into depression, that's just a mask that's trying to die. It's a character that you've been playing that's not yourself. We're not playing characters, okay? We are becoming who we actually are. That's what we're doing here. We're becoming. It's like practicing a guitar and practicing for a show until the show is here. And voila, all of that repetition, I have now embodied and I am becoming for this moment. But in your case, you're becoming for your lifetime. Okay? Becoming is just the unshedding to me. That's a whole nother conversation. Number two, that was number one, was define your artist identity. Number two is protect your music and intellectual property. This is a big one. Okay? I paid attorneys to understand this. Copyright exists at the creation. Yes, when you create something and it's now in tangible form, it is copyrighted from the moment it's created. However, if you want to have greater protection, then it requires action. It requires that you actually, and I got my thoughts about all these systems and all this stuff that they be doing, because it's all about money, but that's a whole nother conversation too for another day. But at the end of the day, if you had to fight a battle in court, then you want to make sure you have yourself protected. And so you do that by copywriting yourself with the uspto.gov website. Oh, excuse me, that's the wrong one. That's trademark and patents. You want to go to the copyright.gov office so that you could copyright your music and your melodies, your lyrics and your melody. That is what encompasses music, right? So you want to make sure that you are protecting your intellectual property. Intellectual property means it came from your mind, right? So to protect what comes to your mind, like back in the day, you used to be able to, sorry, I'm seeing a wasp. I want to look up what a wasp means, because whenever I see an animal randomly, it's a message from the Most High God. If one of y'all could look it up for me, that'd be amazing. But no, for sure, I'm going to come off of this and I'm going to look up wasp. And if I got a second before 2:30, I will definitely look at it. But let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. All right. So, yeah, the moment your stuff is created, it is in tangible form. It is now copyrighted. But if you want to have a strong battle in court, you want to make sure that it's copyrighted with the Copyright Office, the U.S. Copyright Office at copyright.gov. All right. And this way, if you skip this step, you are actually gambling. You're gambling with your life worth. And so you want to make sure that you do that. Number three, and we can talk more about that. There's other ways, like, not, and when I also said, I said number two, protect your music and intellectual property, your brand, right? That artist identity, particularly the name and logo of your artist identity, that is intellectual property as well. So you want to protect that. You want to make sure that you trademark your brand. Like RIMIDI is trademark. The brand RIMIDI is trademark. My logo is trademark. The word RIMIDI is trademark. And the logo is trademark, right? So, and then there's specific categories in which you trademark your brand. So you want to make sure you do that. You could do these things yourself, or I can show you how to do them, right? I can show you how to copyright, right? I can show you how to trademark your brand, but you want to make sure you're protecting your intellectual property. Number three, register your songwriting and publishing. So there's more to protecting your work. You also want to make sure you register your work so that you can collect the streams of income that are available to you. This is one of the things I fell short on in the past. I definitely did not make sure that all my work was protected. Oh, not protected. Sorry. What you call it? Registered, right? You want to make sure, and even that too. Like I wasn't really moving how I should be moving, but I also didn't really understand it. Or I would say, like, when I started understanding it, I didn't really truly understand the importance of it, or I was in survival mode, and I don't know, like maybe that too is a form of discipline. I believe that's a part of artist discipline, is really understanding how the business work and then putting your best foot forward and taking action. Okay. But pros, for instance, your performing rights organizations collect money on your behalf. CSAT, ASCAP, BMI. Okay. They collect your performing rights royalties. This is music. This is rights or royalties when your music is performed, and your music is also performed when it is on the radio. That is a form of performance, right? It's being played, aka it's being performed. So, and that is a performance royalty. And so they collect those things. These different venues and radios, they're supposed to register with the pros so that they have permission to play your music, and they have to pay into that way that you could get paid for the work, and their job is to collect it, right? You also have mechanical royalties, which is like things like the MLC, sound exchange. These things collect your mechanical royalties, and so you want to make sure that you're registered in the right places so that you can collect those streams of income that is available to you. Now, your distribution, right? Like, let's say you get with DistroKid or the Orchid, or I can't think of all of them right now. Ditto. These are distributors, so they're collecting your sales, the money off your sales, not your royalties, right? So you want to make sure that you are, and maybe they have that function of, like, I don't know all of them and how the intricacies of all of them, right? But for the most part, they're collecting your sales and what the distribution of the sales, the money that is coming from the streaming of those sales, right? Every day that you wait, you're actually leaving real money uncollected. So this is a non-negotiable. You want to make sure that you register your music, your songwriting, and your publishing. And you only can be with one. You can only be affiliated with one pro as a songwriter, but you can be affiliated with all of them as a publisher. That's a whole nother conversation. And we could dive deeper into that if you want to know more about that, but I'll just keep it moving for the sake of time. Number 4, create an EPK. Okay. When opportunity knocks, your EPK answers the door. Okay. Your EPK is what is known as the electronic press kit. Blogs, venues, labels, festivals, they'll all ask for it. So you want to walk in prepared. You want to be ready. You want to get ready. You want to be ready so you don't have to get ready. You want to stay ready. Okay, I have an EPK. You can use things like Canva to create your EPK. You can use your website to build the EPK and make it private on your website. You can make an EPK on Canva and put it onto your website and make the page private. However you want to do it, but it's really good to have that. Your EPK is not your website. Okay, your EPK is not your website. Okay, I mean, yes, you can make your EPK a website. You can actually make your website an EPK if that's what you want to do, and use that strictly for the purpose of it being like an EPK. But usually your website and your EPK are totally different. Okay, your website, you can think of it as more for like the public. It's like public facing, and then your EPK is like internal and external for like promoters, talent buyers, things of that sort. Okay, all right. So that leads us into number 5, which is building your website. Every platform you're on can delete you. They can ban you. They can bury you. They can say goodbye. Actually, we're going out of business and we're done here. And all of your followers, all of your analytics, all of their information goes right along with it. Okay. Your website is one thing that you own. I always tell people, like, you need to think of your website like your house. Like how you own a house is like your digital real estate. And it's so important that you maintain your digital real estate. I used to have RIMIDI.com, RIMIDI, in the earlier parts of my career, but I didn't understand the importance of keeping that. And again, I was also like in survival mode. So like, I didn't get it. But let me tell you right now, if I only have the amount for my website in my bank account and I need to eat, I'm going to pay for my bank account, and then I'm going to pay for my website, and I'm going to fast. That's how important it is to me. That's how important it has grown. Like how much I know it is important to have it's like, what I'm saying? Having your house and it goes into foreclosure, and you don't have the money, and so it gets foreclosed and done. Now somebody else come and get your house. You feel me? It's the same concept. It's just it's your digital. So now this other company is using remedy.com, you know, like, because I let it go, because I didn't understand. And it wasn't that I wanted to let it go. It's just that I didn't have the money at the time, or I didn't realize I could have had the money, but I didn't prioritize it. Let's say that differently. I had the money, but I allocated my money incorrectly because I didn't understand it. And I didn't have a whole lot of money, but I might have chose to maybe buy a pair of shoes, or put food in my house, right? That makes sense, right? Or whatever, instead of like prioritizing that, including the fact that that's a separate business expense and all these things can be right. I didn't have that knowledge when I first started this off. So all this stuff is important. It's super important to know, like, keep your website is your home base. Your website secures your fan base. Your website secures your connection with your fan base. So make sure that you have a website. Number 6, build an email list. Okay, that's also why your website is important, because it allows you to build an email list. Okay, 1,000 emails will outperform 10,000 followers. We know that, first of all, these platforms do not show all of your followers, all of your content. So you might have 10,000 followers, but all 10,000 of them are not seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you have 10,000 10,000 people on your email list, a greater percentage of them are going to look at it and see it, because there's nothing blocking it, unless unless it's going into their spam folder, or they put you in their spam folder. But other than that, it is most likely going to get to them. I just learned something earlier. I've been hearing it, but even phone numbers, that's the gem I'm dropping. That's not on the list. That's not on this checklist. But even getting phone numbers is also even 10 times better than email. All right. But email is direct. There is no algorithm. The people on your list actually chose you. They want to connect with you. They want to get even more intimate than being a follower on your list. Like, they really want to be able to connect with you and follow along your journey. So that's important. If you're just joining, my name is Remedy, and I am a music recording and performing artist. And I am today breaking down the independent artist starter checklist. All right. These are the 10 things that artists definitely want to make sure that they know, okay, before taking music seriously. Or if you are an artist who have been just, burnt out, you're in systems that don't align with you, and you really want to take your music seriously, right? This is the place. Let me charge my laptop. It's about to die. This is the place for you. This is the conversation for you. Okay. So far, we talked about defining your artist identity, number 1. Number 2, protect your music and intellectual property. Number 3, register your songwriting and publishing. Number 4, create an EPK. That's also known as the electronic press kit, or stands for electronic press kit. Number 5, build a website. Number 6, build an email list. And now we're on number 7, create a content system. Posting randomly is not a strategy, okay? A content system is a plan. What you say, where you say it, how often you say it. Consistency builds trust, and trust builds an audience. I'll be honest that this is one of the areas in which I struggle with, in terms of consistency, right? It's something that I have to do. I've gotten better, and some weeks, some months, I'm better than others. One thing for sure, like how I started off this conversation, what this season has taught me is that a lot of these things that be happening on the outside of us, they really are distractions. And whether you choose to give it all of your energy, you know what I'm saying? I want you to understand that what you give your energy to grows. So you have to decide to call your power back and give your energy to where it is most beneficial. Am I saying ignore it? No, I'm saying address it when it needs to be addressed. And then once it's addressed, you need to move on. You need to move on, because what happens is these things suck your energy and your life force out of you. That when it's time to focus on what you're supposed to be focusing on, it's like you got to find your rhythm all over again. You got to tap back in. You got to realign yourself. So it's all best for you to just stay consistent. And that's one of the things that has been a challenge for me, but I get it now. Now I'm like, okay, no, because I saw how much this experience that I have been moving through with, that whole eviction and all that, how much energy it was like taken from me, because at the end of the day, life happens for me, not to me. So I'm going to win either way. Even if I were to have lost, I'm still gonna win because life is happening for me, and whatever unfolds is what is supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's always gonna be in my favor. So when I know that, then I can just let go and only focus on what I can control, and then everything else I gotta let it go. Okay, so when it comes to consistency, y'all, be very mindful of what you're giving your energy to, and make sure that you're giving your energy to what is actually pouring into you, what is feeding you, what is providing more to you. Okay, all right, y'all. Okay, so that was number 7, create a content system. I'll explain like crazy. I don't know what's going on. Okay, number 8, build your team. Woo! I don't care what nobody tells you, because I hear a lot of times that people be like, artists in their beginning stages, they don't need a team. I just want to give you one of those, because let me tell you, I think you can have a team at any point. When you're building something is absolutely beneficial and advantageous for you to build a team and delegate out responsibilities. Okay, like, it is what it is. When we don't have it, we start off and we are doing everything. But when we are able to get a little bit of change, even just a little bit or a lot of bit, you want to take that money and you want to delegate it out. Use your money right, guys. One thing for sure that I always feel like, and I did it good at sometimes, sometimes I did it good. Sometimes I feel like I could have used my money a little bit better. I could have allocated my money a little bit better, or reallocated it better. But take your money that you're working and take a percentage of that money and put it aside for your business, right? I did that more like towards the end. But if I had known better all the time that I had been working, I would have always allocated a certain amount of money of what I'm making, and I would pour it into my business. And then even that money, I would break down that money. So if I'm giving myself a draw, and owner's draw is when you take money from your business. But if I'm deciding to offer a contribution to my business every month, let's just say $500, then I'm going to take 100 of that and I'm going to use it maybe for ads. I'm going to take another 100 of that and I'm going to pay a virtual assistant, right? Or 200 and pay a virtual assistant to help me. I'm taking another 100 and maybe use it for my registrations and things, my copywriting and whatever. Like, I'm just going to delegate out this money, so that I'm able to make sure that I'm maximizing my resources and also maximizing my time by taking some of the things off the plate. When you build a team, like this job it takes time and it takes energy and it takes a lot of effort. So I would say this is something that if I could, I would avoid doing it alone, right? I feel like you're not supposed to do these things alone. You got to know your gaps. You got to know what they are, and you got to start filling them. You got to know what your strengths are, focus on your strengths, and then those things that are your weaknesses, then you want to make sure that you pass those things over to those who have those strengths and can balance out your weaknesses, right? Even having one person in your corner is amazing, and it changes everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have a manager who is like your cousin or your uncle, your aunt, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, a really, really good friend, or even a stranger who just really, really believes in you. And they too believe in their ability to get you to where you're going, and then work with them. You know what I'm saying? There are even people who will work with you because they believe in you, and instead of charging you what they charge other people, they will give you a better rate because they want to help you. They want to assist you, but you won't know if you don't ask, right? You don't know if you don't make the take the steps to reach out to them and see how or if they can assist you. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the conversation. And so, I mean, you got to get out your comfort zone. You might not feel comfortable doing it, but you know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do. And that's just that. But definitely build a team. A team is important. I have a team and I still be like falling short. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying to you is, like, imagine, if I didn't have a team, Lord have mercy on my soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, I have an executive assistant who took a leave, and I realized, her taking a leave has made me have to step into like my role even more. Like, it made me have to strengthen the brand and procedures and protocols, right? Because I had to realize also, dang, I probably putting a lot of work on her, but also too, systems are important and like streamlining it. And that's what I love doing. I love streamlining experiences. But if I'm going to streamline for other people, I need to make sure I'm streamlining for myself and making this as easy as a process for myself so that when others do come in, they're good. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, because you want your work to not be a burden to people. You want your work to add value to people, you know? So I'm glad that she took her leave, you know, but I'm so happy when she comes back because now I could like recenter my, and I am so excited for her when she comes back. Like, y'all have no idea, okay? But I will say I just met someone who I'm gonna be tapping into her services too, and even when my executive assistant come back, I'm still gonna utilize her services to help my executive assistant and myself. But I met someone who was like, yeah, you know, I forget what she said. She said even I think it's like $20 an hour or $40 an hour or something like that. And if you have a task, she'll knock out your task for you. You know, I think that's not bad. $20 an hour or I can't remember. It was somewhere, it was $20 to $40 an hour, something like that. But like, imagine, you know, like preparing a document for you or registering all your songs. And, you know, she could do that for you in 1 hour. And that's just $40 or $20. You know what I'm saying? And while you could focus on maybe creating content and something like that. I think that's really dope. And so like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a team. Even if she's not working for you every day, right? She's a member of your team that you could call on and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? She's an independent contractor. Hey, I want to reach out to you if you could do these things for me. So that's important. I spend a lot of time on number 8, building your team, but that's important. Guys, if you just tuned in, my name is RIMIDI. I am a music recording and performing artist. And right now we're talking about the independent artist starter checklist. Okay, this is a checklist that I have prepared for you all as the things that you want to know if you are a music artist that happens to be a songwriter and a composer, and you are working in systems that do not align with you, and you just like, man, I want to do this music thing, man. I want to do this music thing, like, and I want to do it right, and I want it to be sustainable because everybody be telling you that you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You need to go get a job, and you need to be a doctor, you need to be a lawyer, and you need to go be a teacher, okay? Because you cannot make music off of music. You can't make money off of music. That's what a lot of people like to say. Guys, I got birds on my balcony right now, like, because I created you know, I'm gonna look that up too, right? These are doves. These are doves. So I'm gonna look that up as well. But I have a balcony garden, and it has been attracting animal life and to my world, and I just love it. I love it so much. It's really special, and it feels like my balcony is a sanctuary, and I'm just really thankful. I got tomatoes growing out there. I got some oregano. I have some sage that I harvested, but I'm trying to keep it alive because when I got it, I harvested it as well as some other plants, but I didn't have time to like plant it right away. So I'm trying to get it to have life. So I gotta go out there. Anyway, let's stay focused, okay? But these are the 10 things every music artist who wants to build a sustainable career and really take their music seriously, this is what you want to know, okay? I paid a lot of money for this. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm actually currently doing these things in real time, right? Okay? So you guys are watching me build and practice what I preach before your eyes. My life is a reality TV show, baby, okay? But it's not a show, it's real life, okay? Number 9, all right? You want to develop a live performance strategy. The stage turns a casual listener into a loyal fan, but it takes strategy. You have to have a set list. You got to practice. 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 You guys have been seeing me practice on, and I've been uploading that to every other Tuesday. Every other Tuesday is the vlog that I have on YouTube. It's exclusive to YouTube, where I get you to kind of get an insight on behind the scenes of my life. And so myself and my music partner and drummer and show design specialist, amazing human being who just had a birthday, shout out to Rod. He and I have been practicing, right? Making sure that we are getting our set ready, and it's been a minute, right? So like, we're just reconnecting. Also, we have grown a lot in the past, and in this time apart from one another, we've grown a lot. He's a phenomenal sound design and audio engineer and lighting specialist, and just amazing show design specialist. So like, and he's just a beast, you know what I'm saying? And amazing drummer. And I am over here, you know, learning all this business stuff. And so like together we enhance one another, you know, and really just getting into the music and listening to the music. Like I was listening to my music last night, really vibing to my own energy, realizing like I really got to stay in my energy so that I could continue to show up properly. But you got to work on your stage presence. You got to practice. You got to get yourself booked, right? You got to learn how to own the room. This is one of your most powerful tools. Even if your performance is online right now, maybe that's a part of your strategy, being online and building your online presence so that they, whoever they may be, talent buyers, you know, promoters, venues, they want to book you, right? So you got to have a live performance strategy because you got to perform your music. I remember when I first started recording, I wanted to be like a bedroom artist. I did not want to perform. I wanted to only record and that's it, and release my music. And believe it or not, who knew that I would become the outstanding performer that I am today because I was terrified. I did not want to do it. But I understood that that was a part of the journey. I grew up with people like Prince, Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? The Funkadelics, Bootsy Collins. Like I grew up watching like outstanding performers. You know, Rick James, James Brown, everyone, Missy Elliott, like just people who really gave you a good show. And so I had to come to terms with that. Number 10, create multiple streams of income. I gotta get some tea. I don't know what's going on. I gotta get some tea. I gotta tighten up. All right. So yeah, we want to create multiple. This is the last one of our checklist. We want to create multiple streams of income. It's 222 right now in Eastern Standard Time. Beautiful. Beautiful. That means like 111 somewhere, 333 somewhere, 444 somewhere. These are angel numbers. You want to check them out. All numbers are angel numbers, but you definitely want to check those repeating numbers out. 222 means you're on the right path. Okay. 111 means keep your thoughts positive, remain optimistic. Good things are happening and unfolding. 333, always forget 333. 444 is like the angels are with you. You're being supported. Your ancestors are with you. They're all around you. All right. Yeah. Anyway, let's round this up. Number 10, create multiple income streams. Streaming alone will not sustain you, okay? You need to think of streaming as your advertisement, and that's it. Think of it like radio, all right? Now, will it one day, I mean, you know, it's still a form of income stream, so I'm not telling you to negate it. That's not what I'm saying to you. But I'm also saying that you need to do your research. You need to look at how much money you make from that and decide whether or not that's where you should put all of your focus, right? But things like sync licensing, merch, live shows, teaching, brand partnership, you know what I mean? All of these things, your music is a business. So you need to build it like one. And the beauty of music, which is what I love, and this is why like a lot of people don't know that, especially people who are not in the music business, who take traditional paths and who are not open to this thought process. Like music there are multiple ways in which you can make money from your music. Even your song alone, your song has, you know, performance royalties, mechanical royalties, and then there's different entities that collect each side of your song, you know what I'm saying? So, which is your songwriting and your publishing. Your song is split into two parts. So it's a lot of different ways you can make money, but you have to know these things. I didn't know these things all the time. I didn't know that. And then when I started knowing it, I didn't understand the importance of why to know it and how I don't even think I knew the importance of like having multiple income streams and why that was important. You know, when one runs dry, you still have others. You won't be in a bad situation, which I have been moving through because I haven't properly set up all of those things, and I'm setting them up right now. You know, I've set them up, and some of them I am setting up right now, you know, because I'm now finally applying all the things I've learned, but I've spent a lot of time in scarcity mindset, spent a lot of time in survival and, you know, just not giving this career the proper energy and time and education, and well, I'll say I was learning. I was learning. I learned in my mistakes. I learned in paying attorneys to teach me. I learned, you know, by living and experience, but I still, you know, it's like, it's this season in which I'm really applying the things that I have learned. Okay. I feel like there's a piece of hair on my lip. That's driving me crazy. It was. All right, guys. So that was the independent music artist starter checklist. All right. We talked about the 10 things that is very important for our artists to know when they want to take their music seriously, whether you're just beginning, which is the perfect place to be, Or if you are an artist who, you just been aligned with the wrong systems, you just didn't really know how to make this thing work for you, but it can work for you. And so those are the 10 things. So 1, define your artist identity. 2, protect your music and intellectual property. 3, register your songwriting and your publishing. 4, create an EPK. 5, build a website. 6, build an email list. Number 7, create a content system. Number 8, build your team. Number 9, develop a live performance strategy. And finally, number 10, create multiple income streams, because music does allow you to do that when you have all your ducks in order. Let's get our house in order, y'all. Now, I know some of you are looking at this list or thinking about this list, and you're like, I need all of this and I don't know where to start. And I hope y'all was taking notes. I hope that you was taking notes. That's important. I told y'all to take out your notepad and take notes, okay? Maybe you've been meaning to get your house in order, right? For years. I know how that go, okay? Maybe life kept getting in the way. I know how that goes, all right? That's why I put something together for you. That's why I created this list for you all. And because this community has shown up for me the way that y'all have, I want to make sure that I'm showing up for you. I've got 2 ways to work together. First of all, I've already given you the information for free. Like literally, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Not that you're not smart to do this, right? Because a lot of times too, we talked about delegation, right? Sometimes it's just not having the capacity, or sometimes it is you get it, you understand it, but it behooves you to pay someone else to do it, right? To have somebody help you while you focus on other things. At the end of the day, though, you still want to make sure you know this information. You want to know it. You want to have an understanding of all parts of your business, even if someone else is doing it, so that you know when it's done right and when it's done wrong. All right. But I do have 2 ways that we could work together. If you're one of those individuals who like, man, I get the checklist, but I ain't got no time. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't get the checklist and I would like for you to elaborate a little further, right? Both of them are priced for today only. I'll come back at the end. Well, not at the end. This is the end because I'm realizing it's 2:28 and it's time. Like we've already been on here about an hour. I came on about 1:30. I was supposed to be here at 1. Pardon me, y'all. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that. I gotta work on that. But it's 2:28. I wanted to end at 2:30, so I want to go ahead and wrap this up. All right. So know that the help is available to you, real help that you all could use. Okay. So here we are. Everything we talked about today, this entire checklist is so that like I help artists build this, not in theory, but from real experiences, real mistakes, real attorney, and real results. I have been doing this work, and I have actively been doing this for myself right now. Today, like I said, I'm going to explain to you the 2 options in how you can work with me. Okay. The first one is done for you. I build out your foundation for you. I build your EPK. I help you publish your with your pro. If you're not registered with your pro, I get you registered with your pro, right? As whatever you want to do. Whether you definitely want to register as a songwriter, but you might even want to register as a publisher, and I'll teach you how to do those things, which that requires additional fee that has nothing to do with me. Like, you got to make sure you get set up with the state, whatever state that you want to have your business in, because if you want to be a publisher, you got to become a publishing company, right? You got to start a publishing company. But even as an artist, you want to have an artist business. You want to, so however you want to structure, we could consult on that, and then you can decide to do that how you want to do it, right? But you definitely have to, like with the state, when you register your business with the state, you have to pay the state. Okay, so those fees I cannot control, like the additional fees, like when you become a publisher, for instance, let's say you decide to become a publisher with BMI. BMI has a fee that you got to pay. You got to pay $250 to BMI. I can't control that. That's a fee you have to pay to BMI. All I'm going to be doing is what I can do for you. And then everything else, as far as the fees goes, that's something you have to pay. All right. But yeah, I can, like I said, I can do your, I could build your EPK. I can help you get your music published. I can help you get a pro. I can help you create your content system framework. I'm not creating the content for you, okay? but I can't put you in contact with those who can create the content for you. If I create the content for you, it's gonna cost you a lot of money, because that's not something I like to do. That's something I like to do for fun. I don't like to do it for work. When it becomes work, as you can see, I struggle showing up for that. That's something I was used to having my executive assistant do. And I know others who can create content for you. I can create it for you, but I'm gonna charge you out the bay. Okay. But I also can help you put your infrastructure in place. Like, again, that's a framework, and just kind of helping you to understand the things that has to be done, and whatever has to be done, I could do it for you, all of it. Okay, including your website. This package is valued at $2,500. Like, really, honestly, more than that. But I would say roughly about $2,500. But today, I'll do it for you for $500. 10 artists, max. 10 artists, okay? Once those 10 spots are gone, the price is gonna go with it, all right? So I'm offering it to 10 artists. Now, option 2 is done with you. We can sit down together. It's kind of like consultation, and we could build it out together for you, all right? I look at your specific situation, and we create a real plan, and that's valued at $500. Again, more, because the way in which I work with you will be based on like what I feel to be done. It's really technically one session, but I might say, let me get on a call with you again one more time, just to make sure that you did it right. And that's $250 that I'm charging a day for 10 people only. Okay. Now, if either of those are for you, drop Late Bloomer in the comments right now, or send me a DM that says Late Bloomer. DM me directly, and then I'll know that this is something you want to do. Okay. And I will follow up with every single person personally to see which one of these options, option 1 done for you, or option 2 done with you, that you want to do. And we could go ahead, we could get started immediately. All right. If you're not ready to invest today, that's okay. Just stream the music. Listen to my music. I love that. And in fact, I love it more when you go to my website and you purchase the music. All right. I have 2 websites. I have IamRimidi.com. IamRimidi.com kind of serves as like my personal resume. It shows you all of my life work, and it ties you to all of my other websites. But then all of the, other websites, because I'm the founder of a youth organization for girls called GEM Culture, GEM Culture, where we empower girls to power the world through safe spaces and mentorship to enhance their quality of life and ensure their successful transition into adulthood. So I have, like, when you go to IamRimidi.com, it will link you when you see it says charity, you click on that, it'll take you to gemculture.com. There's also a link to go to findyourremedy.com, which is also where you have the music there for you. And check out all the stuff that I'm doing. But as far as the music, I prefer that the people who support me to buy my music direct from me, direct to consumer. That way I see the returns or the fruits of my labor immediately, versus through the streaming, which when you stream my music, which is cool, okay, if that's what you want to do, I just have to educate you on how this works. When you stream my music, I get about 0.003 up to about 12 cents, depending on what you're streaming it on. That's what I get per stream. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be streaming my music all day long, and multiple people, plethora of people have to be streaming it all day long, every day, in order for me to see a return from that. I'm not knocking that streaming income, but I'm just letting you know that's not one of the most significant ways in which you can support me. If you want to make a dent on and an true impact on supporting me, you want to go straight to my website, and that is how you would really impact me and make an impact, right? So anyway, thank you all for being here today. We're running over. We're about 4 minutes over. Technically, we're 34 minutes over, right? Because I came late today. So I do want to appreciate you for being here. I want to thank you all, please, so much. Thank you for, I don't know why I said please, but you know what I'm saying. I just want to thank you all so much for showing up for me in my times of need, for like being there, guys. Thank you for letting me show up for you. This is what Find Your Remedy is, right? This is what the Late Bloomer is. Real people, real journey, and real community. Okay. I'm going to post a checklist on my page. I was supposed to post that last week. I am doing that today. I'm in a better headspace to get this stuff done. I have a list of things to do. I feel good. Yesterday, I got a lot of the things on my checklist done, on my personal checklist done. And because I'm keeping my head in the game. I'm staying focused, and all the distractions, I'm just like, yo, it is what it is. Focus on what I control, and whatever I can, I'm letting it go. I can't give it all the energy that it's trying to take from me. I'm just too real. I'm too amazing to allow things to be trying to take my energy from me. I call it all back from all parts of the world, all parts of the nation, all parts of this universe, all parts of everything, and from every person that's trying to take it. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bruh. No, anyway, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna post it. It'll be in my stories. It'll be completely free. It'll also be in my bio. I'll also have it on my website. So share it with every independent artist in your world. Okay. And if today's conversation stirs something in you, listen, don't let it sit. I want you to act on it. You waited long enough. Okay, do what you're supposed to do, guys. That's part of being disciplined, and discipline is a part of self-love. Okay, so show up for yourself. Show up, guys. Do what you're supposed to do. Discipline is the act of self-love, and the act of self-love is God's love, right? I love y'all. Thank you for listening. I'll see you soon. Remember, I have option 1 done for you. I'll set you up. All you got to do is get on a call with me. I get your information, and I'll take you through the whole process. I'll do it for you, and I'll let you know where we're at until it's done. And then you got the done with you option 2, and we'll do it together. Be easy, y'all. Y'all have a good day. Lots of love. Peace.